Hello everyone, this is Hodora and today we are in Chaos Zero Nightmare and we're gonna talk about our newest passion hunter combatant right on the screen right now, Diana, a love-spreading idol and an archpriest from the Holy Crusader Monastery. She doing two jobs at once. So, we're gonna talk a little bit about her combat and I'll review my impression. But you want a TLDR about her kid, right? Diana? Diana, if you want to compare her to the previous character we have, she is a mix between Selena and... where is she? Where is my Lenore, right? She is a mix between these two in terms of mechanic, but instead of activate them normally, she activate those mechanic by her discard, right? So, how to showcase this early? Well, we should just go to the card. Actually, let's show it in gameplay. So let's go to her story. I believe there is a boss we can fight. Yeah, this one. And I gonna use just remove Lenore because we just want to see her damage alone, right? So let's try use Ray, I guess, boost her damage a little bit. So Diana, I said before, like, she is a mix between Selena and Lenore. Lenore, you know already from the trailer and everything that she have her own bullet that can be discarded and activated. But what is Selena pass? Well, she have a debuff called Resonance. Resonance is another type of mark, right? As you can see, mark will activate whenever active card is used. It do 100% extra damage to enemy and also do tenacity damage. That's fine, but Resonance do 80% extra damage but activate on this card, right? On this card, not on card usage, right? That means there is two ways to get a damage for Diana, but those two ways mix together because you're gonna discard her, activate, of course, Quintus. Quintus happen when you discard the card with Quintus, it's gonna activate them, right? And if the card have two parts, for example this card, right, prison or purification, we have the first part that gonna be used if you use them normally or you use Quintus. And the second part is when the card is discarded, it's gonna activate the later part here, right? And if you manage to use Quintus, it activates both parts. If you use this card alone, it only is gonna activate the first part, not the discard one. Easy to understand. So, her game plan is usually either you use Booming Love to draw a card you want, and then you discard them to activate Quintus. This costs 3, but you activate them by this card, so it's free, right? And now we have all these 3, and we can also do this. Just let's try to grab this one. Heartbreaker is her main bullet. There is two types of heart bullet, right? Heartbreaker and Heartshaker. Heartbreaker, you want to discard this or just use this, it's fine because it's also discard a random card in your hand, random bullet in your hand. But for Heartshaker, right? If we discard these two, it's gonna pew pew. These are from Heartbreaker discard effect and also from Resonance, right? And for Heartshaker, it doesn't do any damage. It's inflict Resonance on the enemy. Like that. Nothing much. And we can do this again.
私の気持ち
Right.
受け取ってください
Easy to understand. Easy to
いつでも
understand.
言ってくださいねせい
So that is basically her game plan. You just generate some of these bullets, use some of them, discard some of them, just try to make so that your deck is not too much, too big to use. So that is her general game plan of what you want to do with her. So let's go look, wrong menu, sorry. Let's go look at her entire kit, right? So for the cards, we have 5 cards to look through. First one, with all my heart. This is the main heartbreaker generator you want to use, right? So that is 5 epiphany. The most useful epiphany, well, not the most, but every epiphany here is useful, right? This one, the third one, is less useful than the other 4. But it still be usable if you manage to have one cost or lower extra card in your hand to change into Heartbreaker. But then again, we have 3 Heartbreaker draw, not draw, created. Create 1 heart and draw 2 exhaust bullet, which you usually gonna have in your either deck or discard pile. The 2 cost, the Epiphany 4 is quite nice. It creates 2 Heartbreaker and apply Quintus to all exhaust bullet in your hand. This is most useful when you are playing her with Lenore, because Heartbreaker doesn't have Quintus, so it's only either activate first part or second part. But if you had Quintus, when you discard them, you can activate both parts. The same go with Dirt Bullet from Lenore, of course. So that's gonna double dip in terms of damage and gonna help a lot, right? And of course, you're not gonna play this card for 2 costs. You're just gonna discard this and activate with Quintus, so that's fine. The other option you can do is just grab this for 3 costs, and at the start of the turn, you get 2 Heartbreaker always. And if you have 5 or less Heartbreaker own, you get 3 instead of 2. So yeah, so that means you can just use this Heartbreaker without discard them to make your deck smaller, but you're not gonna run out of Heartbreaker to use, right? So that is her first card. So for this one, any one is usable depend on what you want to play or what you want to build with. Diana is a well-designed character. She is not like overpowered. She doesn't have anything that too broken about her. But one that well-designed is that most of her epiphany can be used somewhere. And most of the time, any epiphany can be fit into a random team that you might try to build, right? Second one, come here, Milk and Pong. So this is another generator. Instead of generate Heartbreaker, it generate Heart Shaker, right? It usually gonna generate just 2, or this one generate 3. You discard 2 and generate 2 plus 1. Again, any of this is useful. This is retained, so it's gonna passively give you 1 Heart Shaker every turn. That is fine, right? Create each heart bullet, so that means it generate 1 Heartbreaker, 1 Heart Shaker. Cost 1, right? Resonance on random enemy for each bullet in hand. So 1 per bullet. So if you have 4 bullets, it's gonna be 4 resonance, but it's gonna spread, right? It's gonna randomly apply to your enemy. If there is only 1 target, it's 4. If there is 2 target, maybe it's 2, 2 or 1, 4, 1, 3. Depend. But it's another way to build up resonance other than use Heart Shaker, right? This one is again kinda hard to use unless you build the deck around this epiphany. It changes 0 cost exhaust card in hand into Heart Bullet, so it's either Breaker or Shaker. You just need to try to get 0 cost exhaust card in your hand. But then again, not as useful as the other 4, right? We have discard 2, get more, or get 2 hard shaker, and next time any other combatant attack with extra attack, 1 resonant to the target. So this is like when you play her with Selena, with Leno, with Hugo, anything is fine, right? As long as it's extra attack, right? That is the second card. Third card, Crystal or Purification. This is her main DPS card, at least for Quitters, right? Because it have Quitters, it's a bullet. It have bullet, that means you can use Heartbreaker to discard the pistol itself. So yeah, it's a main DPS, main damage card. You do damage and you apply either Resonant or you activate Resonant. Like for example, this one, activate 10 Resonant on enemy. What's good about this? Well, sometimes you apply Resonant more than you discard, so Resonant gonna keep stacking. The same problem with Selena, right? If you apply a lot of mark and it's over the amount of active card you can use, then that mark is useless. But for Diana, if you apply too much Resonant, but if you build around that and grab either the Epiphany 1 or Epiphany 3, right, you can delete all those Resonant and do a lot of damage to enemy instantly, right? Because it's gonna activate them manually by using either of these cards. Well, for this one, you need to discard itself to activate 5 Resonant. But this, you just activate it itself or Quintus and then delete 10 Resonant on enemy and do what? 80 plus moral plus whatever buff you have 10 times, right? And for this one, next 5 haste attack card use Resonant to the target. This is gonna help you apply Resonant. Haste, if you don't know, I forgot to mention this, Heartbreaker have haste, Heart Shaker also have haste, but it's applied to attack card, so only Heartbreaker. This one just damage, right? 200 and plus 100% for each bullet card discard this turn. If you discard like 5 bullet, it's gonna be plus 500. So 700 cost 1, by the way, right? So that's fine. And the last one, quite nice, is become AoE, and it doesn't increase the cost stay at 1. Do the same amount of damage at any other card, right? 200, and it's AoE. And when this card is discarded, activate Resonant on all enemy 2 times. So it's clear Resonant and it also do area attack. If you want for her to become a sweeper instead of single target DPS, you can grab this instead, right? That is Crystal. And the last one, Booming Love. This is her support card that's gonna draw Quitter's card for her. If you play her alone, it's gonna draw her own card. If you play with other combatant and you manage to grab Quitter's Arcana card or whatever, it can draw those cards too, right? So it's gonna draw Quitters and it can discard your card too. So discard 1, if discard card from other combatant, create 2 hard bullet, nothing much. Most likely, I love the second Epiphany here. Discard 2 and you apply Resonant to all enemy equal to the cost of the discard card, maximum at 6. That means gonna apply Resonant to everyone and it's gonna make so that enemy will take more damage. Help her clear small monster. Number 3, discard up to 3 bullet in hand, right? Only exclusive to bullet. And draw Quitter's card equal to each discard bullet minus 1. So it's help you draw Quitters and remove bullet from your hand, so that your hand don't clog. Useful, I would say useful, but most of the time I just use this one. This one is nice if you manage to get a lot of bullet in your hand. Discard all bullet and do extra attack to enemy for each bullet discarded. And of course, if we have Heartbreaker, if we had Dirt Bullet, discard them gonna do more damage, more attack, right? So it's gonna be like 20, 30 attack if you have full hand of bullet. And if you use this with I think with all my heart, right? With this support, with this one that apply quitters to all of your bullet, then those bullets gonna apply to activate twice, so that's gonna be a huge amount of damage. But after that, your deck is basically ruined. You're gonna have at least 10 bullets in your deck that doesn't go away. Does it go away? I actually didn't. It should go away, right? Quitters activate and activate exhausted. Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure. It should go away. If it go away, that would be quite nice. And the last one, it turned into 3 costs, but it has quitters, so you can just discard this and activate them for free. If no quitters card in hand, you just draw 1 quitters card of this unit, 1 per turn. So it's 1 extra draw if you don't have quitters in hand at all. But if you have one of her own quitter card in hand, then this is useless. So out of these 5, the 5th one, the upgrade one, is not useful. The other 4 have situation we can use. Number 1 and number 2 is really generally good. Number 3 and number 4 you need to play her with other bullet combatant, either Leno or if you want to Luke or Lucas. But Luke and Lucas doesn't gain much benefit from this card of bullet unless you have card that apply quitters on the bullets, then those are fine. Otherwise, Leno is her best partner. And for her purple card, her mystic card costs 2, draw 2 exhaust bullet, do a damage, more damage for each different type bullet in hand. Most of the time you delete this card. This card is not useful, it costs too much, it doesn't do that much damage. It draw 2 exhaust bullets, so if you don't have any, then that's useless. If you have some, you draw them and you use them. But if you plan your team correctly, you play it with Nia, you play it with other combatants that have draw 2 cards, draw 2 and do damage. In my opinion, not that useful, right? It's kind of useless in my opinion. And lastly, her eco skill. Create 1 Cupid shot and create 2 hard bullet. Hard bullet is fine, but Cupid shot is an exclusive attack card that you can only get from her ego. So, card 1 is a bullet, it's a quintus, so extra quintus card in your deck. And it doesn't have exhaust, so it can be repeat. Do some damage and do extra damage for each bullet card in hand. Not different. If you have like 5 Heartbreaker in hand, it's gonna do 5 extra damage to random enemy. So that is a lot of damage. Right, and it's quitters, so it can activate for free again. So most of her mechanic can activate for free if you have a discard card. For example, this one. For example, I have, right, Booming Love with cost reduction, right? So it's 0 cost, draw 1 quitters and discard 2. That means I can discard 2 cards for free. Usually this card is a bane to your deck, right? But with Diana, this card is a boon. And next is her potential. For her basic, we usually delete them, so that's fine. But if you have them during the run, it's gonna discard random of the card of this unit in hand. Only for this unit, also only for Diana. That means you can plan around that to discard any critters, right? And her node is crit chance, crit damage. Her scaling come from crit chance, right? Increase basic damage plus 5 if you have crit chance 20 or more plus another 5. For her unique, if your crit chance is 10 or more, get plus 4 extra damage. For every 5% crit chance above 10, get plus 1 max plus 8. So it's gonna be plus 12 if you manage to push her crit chance to 60%. So that is what you want to build, right? For 60% crit chance. I don't have that, but eventually Oh, actually 50%, sorry. Right, 5 times 8, 40. Yeah, 50%, not 60%. But if you can manage to push each higher, that's fine. She do a lot of attacks, so crit chance is nice. Sadly for her right now, there is no useful 4-piece set to use. You can do 2-piece set of crit damage with attack, right? Crit damage and attack, but the last two you can use whatever, right? Agony, if you can apply agony, or you can go defensive with HP. Other than that, there is nothing useful. Well, you can also go for Spark of Passion if you manage to build her upgrade card, right? Because it's increased 20% always, right, for Passion card. But then again, she have both type damage, right? From her bullet that apply this, but from her resonance, this will not apply. This will not apply because it's debuff, not a card. So that's why I use Gory for now, because most of her card is exhaust, and when you create it or use increase ally damage by 5%, max 15%. This always stays, so it's work for now. We will need to wait and see for season 3 if we got any new set of memory fragment to use. But for now, this is my placeholder, right? 4-piece Gory and 2-piece Executioner for crit damage. Sadly, my sub stat is not great, so it's kinda low right now. But hey, it's work. I'm not gonna build her too much before season 3 release, and we're gonna wait and see for those new fragment, right? Lastly, her ego, her dupe. So the first one increase the damage of her mystic card, which is kinda nice, plus 100% more damage and draw one more exhaust bullet. But I would still delete this card from the deck most of the time, and I don't think there is any still scenario I want to spend 2 cards for this effect. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe after playing with different type of combatant and see how much damage this can do, I might change my opinion. But for now, I believe her main playstyle is just discard and gain benefit from that, not spend too much AP. The second one, each time ally discard a card, gain 2 Fluster. So Fluster is at the end of the turn do extra attack. So this is basically like a free ballista shot like Veronica, but doesn't have to form a card, it's form her Fluster buff. And it's gonna keep scaling damage until maximum at 20 stack. At 20 stack, increase damage by 200%, so it's gonna be 600 extra attack. That is quite a huge number. So Ego 2, really valuable, right? Extra attack, quite nice. Ego 3, change Ego skill from 5 to 4 and create 2 more hard bullet. Instead of 2, you create 4 now. That means after you use this, your Cupid shot will do like 4 extra attack without any other bullet in your hand. But if you have more, then yeah, really nice. The 4th dupe plus 30% to extra attack, right? That is huge. Plus 30% is quite a huge number, and plus 1 per each Fluster you have. Diana, if I gonna be honest, her dupe really improved her damage a lot, right? Because most of her damage is quite a small number, so any kind of addition gonna help a lot. Small in terms of damage, but the number of attacks she does is quite a lot. The 5 dupe is whatever. The last one, the 6 dupe, not that good in my opinion, right? The 6 dupe just make so that your thruster stack faster and the cap increase to 30% and also apply to all allies. Yeah, when you reach 30, ally inflict 200% extra damage. If you really love Diana, I would recommend you go for Dupe 4. Even if you on the fence, Dupe 2 is quite nice. Just this extra attack is already pretty good. But Dupe 4 is where her damage gonna help increase a lot. Because if you have like 20 thruster, that is plus 20 here, plus 30, plus 50. Her resonance do plus 80, right? So that is more almost like double the damage of her card already. And if you look at her Heartbreaker, plus 50 to this, right? This is scale already, so it's not accurate. It's actually 120 plus 50 is gonna be 170, and multiply that by 20% is gonna be like 194. No, 204% instead of 140. So that is wrong. That is wrong. But then again, she is not broken because she is not 9. Her card is not consistent, right? You need to draw the correct card for her to do damage. But with correct deck, you see how she does her damage before, right? And maybe I can also showcase you in hyper dimension, hyperspace, sorry. But if you don't like her design or don't care too much about this mechanic, then that's fine. You can skip her. We know about what coming next in season 3 already. We get another blue head idol and Tenebria from Epic 7, right? Smargate's favorite daughter. But if you care about either full scale offensive, because Suppress Servant, its mechanic can only be utilized by either Diana or Lenore. If you don't have Lenore and you want to get 3-star here, Diana is your answer. But if you don't care about 3-star, 2-star is already enough for you to get all of the gem rewards, so that is whatever again. So before we end, let me go and do hyperspace. Let's do a last stage and let's change Lenore out for Ray. And let's show you some damage in hyperspace. Even though there is a buff for this card, but hey, it's not too much of a buff, so yeah. And you can see here, we doesn't draw that good of a card here, right? What we can do, because we have Nia and Ray, what we can do is we can grab a card we want. One thing to keep in mind if you watch it until this point, what I use, right? The monster card I use, apply retrieve to a card I choose, right? But Quitters, you cannot move this card out of use card pile. That means retrieve is useless for Quitters. So you usually gonna use it on either Moving Love or Mew and Pong. So we can do this, and we can discard this. And let's discuss Snack Time, why not? Now, let's get Moral because her damage is low, right? Her number scaling is low. That means you would usually want to get a lot of Moral stat. And let's get that fine. Let's see, I can draw another one. And let's do this. right?
愛を込めてせいは
I didn't do anything. She just do her own stuff, right?
愛
And
を
we
広
gonna
げて
discard
あな
more.
たのための贈り物です
Sadly, this doesn't have quitter, so the first part is not applied, but the second part is applied.
愛のいや私の気持ち神の受け取ってください
Right, right. Good damage, and it's basically free.
はーい
Let's do
流れを
this.
感じますビシッ
Let's
と
draw
チュー
some
ニングしよ
random
う
card. I forgot we only have one left, so that is useless.
私の気持ち
That's
いつでも
nice.
言ってどんなお悩みでもちゃんとお聞きします
And
よ
discard these two.
愛を込めて
Get 3 more Heartbreaker.
私の気持ち愛の力ビシッと
Discard Heartbreaker. Draw 2 more cards.
いやえい私の気持ち受け取ってください
Really fun, right? If you love this type of deck, like you just discard them. Really fun playstyle. But if you ask my honest complete opinion, I love simple deck, simple playstyle.
記
So
録時間や
simple, we have 9,
正確にこれは痛むぞ
right?
準
We
備
have
は
9 who
もっ
can
と
just
早
do
く
this.
これは痛むぞ急げ
And don't care. I don't care too much. We just activate card, activate heal,
準備はよし
activate
実
heal,
力を見
nothing
せ
much.
月にあがいてみな
このくらいなら執行官ティペラ準備完了記録者と
So
しての
she is not like a must pull or anything, but she is fun. She is fun. And since she is this card,
これは
a
痛
lot
む
of people speculate that the upcoming idol girl might be
もっと正確に
this card
こ
support
れは痛むぞ
to replace
私はこんなこともできます
Nia, maybe.
準備は終わった
So that
これ
is a
は痛むぞ
fair guess. But for now, Diana is fun. Diana is fun. Her design is nice. And most of her card is useful. Sadly, because most of her card is useful, there is no base deck type. Right? Because if you ask what is the best deck for Diana, you need to factor in what unit you use her with, what type of gameplay you're gonna use her, and with that there is many different type, right? If you play with Lenore, you might want to go for another bullet epiphany to support both DPS, right? Lenore and Diana. But if you play her solo, maybe you want more discard, more card draw. Quitters only activate one per turn, so you might want to copy Quitters and maybe want to copy some other card. Do you want to utilize Heartbreaker or Heartshaker more? If you utilize Heartshaker more, do you want to have a card that activates Resonance, or you activate Resonance another way with other support that can discard a lot of cards? There is so many ways to build her, so there is no wrong way.
もしご迷惑じゃな
But
け
you
れ
already
ば
know about her
おそばに
mechanic and her
座って
build
も
from
いい
this
ですか？
video already, so I hope you have
本
a
当
good time
はお給仕まで
finding
なん
what
ですけど
suits your best, right? And again, I hope you have fun playing video game. Good luck with your gacha, and see you again next time. For now, bye bye. Oh, and also, her base support is, of course, her Sophia.
私に会いに来
Sophia
てくれ
is
た
her
んで
best
す
support,
か
but if you don't have Sophia, you can use the 4-star that every single bullet user can use, which is Accord. Right, because it increases bullet damage. Alright, that's all for me. Bye bye.